how do you give yourself the best possible chance of not giving up? Because in my experience, a lot of people think they have tried, and then when they don't see the progress, they end up quitting. I'm here to explain to you how you can get the best possible chance of knowing that you have tried. Even if you don't succeed, even if you come to another conclusion, because a lot of people hit a brick wall and they think they have failed. They think this has not worked, this will never work for me, or this isn't for me, or I don't feel like I'm going to be able to complete this. So how can we get you to change your brain into thinking that you can? Or let's prove to yourself that. Okay, maybe you might come to the conclusion that you might not be able to do it, whatever the task is. But you need to give yourself a chance. So one way you can do this is by analysing other people's success. So for example, if this person took X amount of years to get good at this sport, or get good at a task, or get good at a job, well, maybe you can use that as a measuring stick to determine, okay, let's try doing this for this long. Also, another thing you have to keep in mind is, what else did they do in the background? What else did they do that behind the scenes that you didn't know? So when you're thinking about this, don't be too hard on yourself, because if you're too hard on yourself, you'll end up giving up. You'll be upset that you might not be good enough, and that will cause you to overthink and be negative about the situation. So that's the first way to know whether you have given it a red hot go. The second way to know whether you've given it a red hot go is to prove it to others, prove it to your peers. If you can show other people, yes, I've tried this, I've tried that, you're more likely to do more. You're more likely to have in your own head, okay, how would the other person perceive this? Would they think I've actually tried? Will they actually think, okay, I've given it a red hot go? Or is it just me thinking it's too hard, or I want to give up, or maybe this isn't for me, or you think you're a failure? So that's another way. If you really try to drum that into your head, try to say, okay, how can I prove this to someone else? Your brain will start to think, and you'll start to think of different ways. Think of other ways of giving stuff a red hot go. The third way is probably the most easiest and the most effective way of keeping track whether you have given it a red hot go. So the third way is to keep a log, keep track of the activity. Prove to yourself, okay, I have done this 10 times in the last 3 weeks. If you start to see that, okay, I haven't been doing this enough, okay, the last 10, say the last 3 weeks, you've only done it 3 times. Well, then you know that you haven't given it a red hot go. You know you haven't tried. If you prove to yourself, okay, I've done it for this amount of time, considering that the task or activity or whatever it is not something that you need to build up long term. Say it's a short term thing you want to fix. Say it's a short term thing that you want to prove to yourself. Then you know, okay, maybe maybe this isn't for me because I've done it 30 times in the last, I don't know, the last 6 weeks, and it hasn't worked. But keeping track of it is probably the most important thing, because then you've got solid proof that you have done it. The fourth way of knowing if you've given it a red hot crack is make sure you're doing the task, routine, whatever it is. Make sure you're doing that particular thing right. If that means maybe you work out and you're not seeing progress, maybe you need a personal trainer, maybe you need someone who's professional in that field to show you how to do it better. For example, you could go to the gym and waste your time there and just do the machines, go through the machines. But if you don't know how to work out effectively, if you don't know how to do the movement good, then you haven't given it a red hot go, because you haven't given yourself the best chance to be able to succeed. So they're the 4 main points of how you can give it a red hot crack. I hope that helps you. Have a look at my other YouTube videos. And yeah, thank you for watching.